push it out. I push it all out. I push it out. I push it all out. I push it out. And I push this out. A visual effect. Did you enjoy it? And welcome to Dangerfield Sunday Prescription issue 28. It's sneeze number 28. There's no sneezes on this holiday, of course, because the pyjamas in bananas, I know I got it wrong, special, it's a test, there'll be a written questionnaire, get that in. I'm fainting of corrections at the end. Now, I push it out, I push it all out, I push it out, and that's right, I'm not talking about the diarrhea that young Charlotte has been shasting into the, she's had a basket at her mouth and a toilet at her end, has been and the shit, that there's most disgusting, hideous things. It's quite interesting because first the shit and then the smell of it, she's like, no, it's... And welcome to Cambodia. I push it all out. She pushes it out. Do-dum-dum-dum-dum. She pushed it all out. She pushes it out.
Stop being horrible to me, otherwise I'll shit on your face like the other.
There you go, a threat of shitting on face. And she will do it, I assure you. Once she made me some baked beans and I said, I sort of stood like this. Oh, we're making use of the video at last. It's more than just a potty. I let my undercarriage, yeah, I'm not going to get that out. It will get flagged. No one needs their bollocks flagged. No. I let my undercarriage hang down. It's quite a hefty sort of undercarriage, probably about a kilo in weight. It's divided between the two ballacks, and the flesh sack itself is a good. Imagine a carrier bag, a tiny carrier bag made out of pig skin. You get a lot of pork scratchings out of one ball bag. I've made them in the past. So I let my ball sack hang down, and I was like that, and I just hovered gently above the beans, and I said, imagine if my balls dipped in the beans. And of course, I didn't have to imagine for very long because my balls dipped in the beans. Try it, make it a Christmas game. Because obviously what happens is the 57 varieties of balls that are owned by humans will pick up, because of the sauce, which is weird because it's kind of saucy, isn't it? The story, it involves the balls. The sauce will pick up a couple of beans. And what you can do, get the beballed, the besacked among your family. That tends to be men. I don't know, you might have a sex change. What you can do, what the Dangerfield warrior tribe used to do at the pagan festival of Christmas was we used to get some pork scratchings, put them in water, and they expand, and then you can just sew a couple together and make yourself a little piggy flesh sack and give that to the ladies, sometimes often as a gift. You know, in the Dangerfield warrior tribe, it was quite normal, but yet beautiful to offer a lady in the family, whether it were mother, sister, auntie or niece, a selection of pork scratchings, a little bit of sacred water, perhaps piss, spittle. On a special birthday, an 18th or a 21st, bit traditional I know, it was not unusual to cry poverty tears of no food into a little dish. So we all had a tear or 5 into a little dish, and that would be handed over ceremonially with pork scratchings. So they would then put the pork scratchings in the bowl of tear, and the bowl of tear, and the bowl of tear, and I can't stop it, I really can. I've stopped. The bowl of tear that just, and so a piece of paper with a bowl of tear written across the top, and then a drawing of your nan's favourite lagoon. Okay, so you're following this. And then you'd hand that over with the pork scratchings and the bowl of tear, and then what your niece, auntie, mum, sister would do is drop the pork scratchings in the bowl of tear. I push it out, I push it all out. A bowl of tear, dum 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 dum. A bowl of tears, a bowl of tear, a bowl of tears, a bowl of tears, a bowl of tears. I hope YouTube doesn't use that as a still. Une bowl of tears. So then, let's say it was your mum, not your mum, not mine, a mum, the communal mother, Mother Earth, Mother Universe, Mother Earth and Mother Universe having a fight and created the sun, is what I'm saying. So a piece of paper with a bowl of tea, picture of the sun, and some pork scratchings. And you'd hand that over to the communal mum or Mother Earth. You can put it in a hole. That's what we'd do. So you dig a hole, right, you're following this? Dig a hole on New Year's urn and use the soil for what I'll tell you about later. Put the pork scratchings in the hole and then cry into the hole. If you're struggling for something to cry about, I'll tell you in a minute about when I got chased by the gathers, and that will give you the tears for this procedure. Anyone can do it as long as you're part of the Dangerfield warrior cult, which if you're unsure as to whether you are, there's a simple test, easy to do. Put a chip on your shoulder, right? Put a real chip on your shoulder. If it stays there, you are part of my family. Okay, simple. If it falls off due to gravity, festering mould of chip-like square, you're not. Okay, so do the test. So where were we? Oh yeah. Dig some holes in Blackburn, Lancashire. Get John Lennon to write about that. If then your mother cries when she eats pork scratchings, you know that she hasn't got a ball sack. Okay? And then, as before, let that fall gently, not fall, that's wrong. I'm confused. That's the Cambodian sun. So you get a Cambodian son or daughter, either's fine. A child of two parents you need. A child of two parents, grab them by the balls. If they don't have balls, pull the labia, just gently though, don't ask permission, you don't need to, okay? You can say, oh, I said to, okay? So pull the labia down, okay? Get a tennis ball, yeah, clean it, you know. If Andre Agassi has played with it, that doesn't count. I don't know why. It's weird, isn't it? If Morrissey has played tennis with a ball, you can use that. So get a tennis ball that Morrissey has used in a game of tennis, put that in between the labia, pull it round, super glue, any 2-part epoxy resin, adhesive will be fine. Don't make one out of flour and water though, that's not good, because of course flour takes us back to bread. And bread, of course, we know is my parts of my body. I was told at church years ago when he put it on my tongue and he said, that's the body of Chris. Everyone seemed to be eating me, and it was a bit like the Chinese torture 1,000 pieces. I mean, I haven't been crucified yet, but I certainly didn't like the non-alcoholic sweet hot Ribena that they had that apparently is also my blood. So, are you following? So you've got the small ball sack of a Cambodian child whilst listening to the Smiths, and you just dip it in some beans. Make sure it's separate from the child though. Just chop it off, scissors, don't need permission. Chop it off, put that into a plate of beans. I don't know, serve it with some pak choy. Super noodles are always good. And have a good Christmas. I hope that counts. So if you need to generate some tears, just remember this story. I went to a rehab centre called Bridge House. Bridge House. Was it a bridge? Was it a house? No. It was both and neither. Neither. It was Ebenezer, where Ebenezer lived. And he was the ghost of Christmas past. I stayed at Bridge House, and I think it might have been called the Hollies. I think the centre of the universe is the sun, but they used to think it was the earth. But the centre was called the Hollies, but the actual treatment centre was called, I don't know. I think their point somewhere along the line was Hollies is nice, drugs aren't nice. And a bridge house is a place where you go to thinking it's a house, but it's actually a bridge to normal living. Okay? It was in an old mental hospital, and the weird thing was, the mental hospital, it's in Dartford, it's a stone house, it's called Stone House. Stoned House, more like. That was in a Christmas cracker from last year. I went there, and you're in this old house, but it went derelict, Stone House. There's a big sort of tower there, which I think is probably a water tower, I don't know. But you can see it from my mum's house. I think I might have told you this before. You can see it from my mum's house. Well, you walk out of my mum's house and you look up the road and you can see it in the distance. And when I was a little bastard, going around causing problems, my mum would say, if you carry on being a little shit, you'll end up in the madhouse. And she'd point up to the tower at the mental hospital. And of course, when I ended up at the Bridge House Rehab Centre, she was right. Yeah, she was right. And so it's a house, but of course it's a bridge to normal living. I went there about 7 times. More like a rubbish bridge house, a not completed bridge house, a dangerous bridge house. But anyway, I'm in there, and there's loads of wankers because everyone's coming in full of narcotics and being absolute cunts. There was so many dramas there. It's like an NHS freebie. You had to have caused loads of problems and been full of methadone and tried this and tried everything, got done by the old bill. So it was real like the end of the road scavenger help kind of desperation kind of shithouse. But when it went derelict, it was empty, obviously, but I drove a motorbike through there. I used to have a KX80, and my old man used to ride grass track. So when I, at 14 years old, got this KX80 that went about 1,000 miles an hour, twice the speed of sound, not really, but it felt like it at 14, when you were used to your little Tomahawk, which if you don't remember, is the one down from the Rally Chopper. The Rally Chopper might get all the praise because it is an archetypal 70s construction with the weird gear stick that has taken more than a few bollocks from their bodies. I mean, if you can find the Chopper factory, they've probably got a few scrotum sacks that you can use for the aforementioned Warrior Tribe ritual of Christmas. But the Rally Chopper was just one. The Rally Chopper was the grifter of that style, yeah. Because the grifter, do you remember the Rally grifter? It sort of like had a big plastic fist of a seat, which when you're 14 is a bit like being fisted, mon. But one down from the grifter was the striker, and one down from that was the boxer. Yeah? And it was the same with the Chopper series. The Chopper went down to the Tomahawk, yeah. You know, the Tomahawk, and one down from that. I think there might be one down from it. What's that little bird called? It wasn't called a budgie. It might have been called a budgie. Hey, Johnny, you're coming out on your budgie. No, I'm fucked. I'm staying in, smoking fags. What was it called? No, what's the other one? The canary. It wasn't called a canary. Was it called a budgie? Was it called a... It might... Fuck knows. But there was 3. If anyone knows, keep it to yourself. I'm not interested. But I had the Tomahawk. With a little red Tomahawk. I remember once I was gonna paint it, and I thought, imagine if it was glittery, you know. It was the 70s after all, but imagine if my Tomahawk were imagine I had a glittery Tomahawk, an axe that shone. So I bought a load of glitter, and I bought a load of paint, poured the glitter in the paint, mixed it up, painted my bike, and weirdly, it was just painted black with little bits in it that didn't shine. And in many ways, that's a metaphor for my life. Many bits that don't shine. That's not where you get your tears from, though. Why the fuck was I talking about the Tomahawk? Riding my Tomahawk? Can't remember. Who cares? Just about tears and bollocks and ball bags and scraps and scrotums and sacks and tears and little bits of paper and your mum and the beans. And Bridge House was a naughty boy, ended up back there full of reprobates, had some real problems in there. There was one girl who was pregnant. She was only about 1 year old. She was pregnant, smackhead, and she, every time she sat down, whatever the situation was, she'd go, yeah, don't touch my mug, I've got hepatitis C. Oh, everything. You go, oh, how are you? And she goes, yeah, I've got hepatitis C. She ended up getting chucked out. Can you imagine having to make that decision? They're a tricky job working in a rehab. There's a 16-year-old pregnant smackhead, homeless, and you've got to say, nah, sorry, you've broken the rules by injecting ketamine into your mate's eyeball. You've got to go out on the street and fend for yourself. Oh, awful days. So we're all in there, and all this sort of stuff's happening. There was some traveller kid in there. He turned up. He lasted an hour before he went, "Hey, you gonna give me my methadone?" And they went, "No." And he spat in the therapist's face. Right? This is no shit. There's a group therapy. We're all in there, and you're feeling awful. You're withdrawing, and this traveller boy, he was only about 2, but he looked like a monster, built like a bigger than that, twice that. My torso was like one of his arms, and he went, "You're gonna give me my methadone?" And they went, "No." And in the middle, like, it was like, "What are you feeling? How are you feeling?" And he went, "You're gonna give me my methadone?" And they said no, and he went spat in the therapist's face. So what would you do if you're the staff in such a situation and one of the clients is being aggressive? Obviously you run away, leave all the other vulnerable patients with this psychopath, lock yourself in a safe room. That's right. So all the staff lock themselves in a safe room. I'm sitting there shaking about 2 stone while this fucking boy, he's throwing chairs at their door. He's causing all sorts of problems. I'm just sitting there thinking, yeah, this isn't a bridge house at all. This is just a house, and quite a dysfunctional one full of arseholes. He let himself go. He walked out. He wasn't happy. He couldn't last more than an hour without his methadone. So we're all there. And then this boy Jamie comes in, and I won't use his real name. His name was Jamie. That's his real name. And he was a funny little thing, really. And he didn't really understand why he was there. He just thought it was all right for him to just take drugs and rob his nan of every single penny she's got, until she called the police on him while he was in a bed at her house. So little Jamie, and I didn't get on with him, but I didn't not get on with him, and he pissed on my bed once while I was in it, which obviously came up in therapy, in group therapy, and they said to me, "Who do you think let you down mostly?" And I said, "Probably the lad that pissed on my bed," I think. Is that a question that needs asking? But they've got nothing else to do, so they ask things like that. Anyway, a year later, I'm up there. I'm up the Hollies. That was the centre of the universe rather than the sun. It was Holly-centric. And I'm up there, and I'm having to see my key worker. You have to see a key worker if you want them to give you methadone and Subutex. So I'm seeing my key worker, a nice bloke called AJ, very gay, lovely bloke. And as I leave, and I've said all the necessary things you need to say to make sure you get your supply of substance D from the government in this brave new world to keep me quiet, keep me dumb. I see Jamie, and he was like, "Can you get an hour?" And I said, "Yeah, I can probably score for us." And he was like, "Yeah, can you? I can do it." And I went, "Yeah, no problem. We'll have to go to Broccoli though." And he was like, I went, "Oh, no way. You got a motor, nice." And he was like, I went, "All right, we'll leave now." So we had a few quid on us, and we got in his car. Horrible little thing, sort of. I think it was like a Golf, not a game, but the car. And so we were in his car, and we were driving up to Broccoli, and dramas, if you know that world, it's never like, "Oh, hi, yeah, sure, oh, I'll pop round, great, this, that, go here, do that, no, I ain't got what you want, mate, I'm waiting for it here, there, everywhere, 4, 5, 6 hours, now, fuck it, we have to go to Brixton, went down there, I wanted some white, let's go to Canberra, and I'm losing energy, and I'm losing faith, and I don't like Jamie, and he doesn't like me, and I can't relax my feet, because in front of them there's like a big industrial saucepan, the sort you get in like restaurants, like a huge big stainless steel pan with like a sieve, like not a wire sieve, a big metal sieve in it, and that's down by my feet. There's plenty of room in the back seat, but for some reason I've got my feet on it and I'm not comfortable. We come along Lewisham Way, and coming up to the roundabout that is at the bottom of Lewisham Hill, just by the station, if you know it. It won't matter, I'm sure you can recognise a roundabout. And we're in traffic, and this old bill van pulls up next to us, like a transit, and it's full of them. There's like about 1,000 pigs in there. And so I'm just doing that old natural neutral thing, like I'm sort of sitting there suggesting I haven't got a pocket full of smack, and I'm not with a lunatic. And so I'm just sort of sitting, and the old bill, one of them is looking down at me, and as we pull away, of course, he goes boom and puts the old siren light on as if to say pull over. And I turn to Jamie, I go, "Boy, maybe just pull over, they're not going to search us." And he goes, "Fuck it, the car's nicked." and he pulls off, and I'm just like G-force. I'm terrified. Absolutely. The day started quite well. Went to my key worker, no problem. Oh yeah, oh thanks AJ, I'll pick up the methadone from the chemist tomorrow, thanks. You've been really good, no, I'll try my best. But now I'm going about 80 miles an hour along Lewisham Way towards the roundabout. Jamie next to me, you can tell in his eyes he loves the drama. He's going for it. He's like, wicked driver though, has to be, says I can't drive. Which is interesting because they seem to let me burn around Cambodia on the roads on a scooter. I push it all out, I push it out. But I can't drive a car. Well, I can, but I can't, I shouldn't, that's what I mean. And he's like, all the gears. And we are flying, and I'm trying to put the seatbelt on, and the seatbelt won't work. And I'm like, why don't the seatbelt work? And he's like, I don't know, the car's nicked. And I'm like, oh, this is why we're in trouble. Who goes to score in Greater London in a stolen car? You only need an old bill to pull up behind you and see your big black rings and just go, put the car through the computer. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, this was stolen this morning by the bloke in the driving seat. We get to Lewisham roundabout, it's fucking crazy busy, it's about like rush hour on a Friday. He goes round it the wrong way, because in his head that's going to stop the old bill getting us, and it's... I'm absolutely terrified. The cars are getting out of our... We hit about 4 cars, absolutely. Not head on, but without a doubt. I'm just thinking, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? So I get the smack out of my pocket. First thing, I swallow that because I'm thinking they are going to catch us. No one gets away with a car chases. I've seen camera lights action. I know how this ends. Us rolling along down a road, me... And then they find us and we get arrested. So I swallow all the gear. And we're flying and we get round the roundabout. It goes round it about 3 times. I'm going, just pull off the roundabout, just pull off the roundabout. I'm starting to believe maybe it doesn't turn left. And the old bill van's behind us. And I can hear sirens in the distance. You know, so far in the distance, they come from the 70s. Nino, Nino, Nino. Hello, Bayswater 4895. We have an incident. Thank you. Boop. So we're driving along. We get out of Lewisham. Now, time's passed, obviously, but it kind of goes quick when you're fearing for your life and you're hurtling towards Greenwich at about 80 miles an hour. We've now got the transit behind us, about 3 standard old bill cars there, sort of cruising around behind us. There's a helicopter, no shit, a helicopter. It's not like above us, it's not like a car film chase, like, it's not the car there with the helicopter. It's like Tom Cruise isn't going to dangle out of it on an abseil onto the top of our car and put his fist through it like Terminator, pull me out. But it is there, which is a problem in a car chase, because if you have the bird's eye view, you know, it's very helpful, that's what I'm trying to say. So they're all behind us. Anyway, Jamie then, clever Jamie, he's going to me, he goes, throw the sieve at him. I'm like, what? He goes, pick that thing up and throw it at him. Now, at this point, I've done nothing wrong. I've swallowed the smack, so that's not against the law. They're not going to bother sticking, imagine, down my throat, I got it. Police officer monkey owl there, I got the smack. They're not going to do that. So at this point, when we eventually somewhere and I crawl out like a film, what happened? All I've done is sat in a passenger seat. There's no warrants out for me. This is just stupid. Cup of tea. Are you drinking tea? 1 second. So at this point, I've done nothing wrong. If I then throw a huge, thick-bottomed steel industrial saucepan and sieve at a police vehicle, I don't even know what those laws are, but probably illegal. Not going to look good when I'm standing up in court and the prosecutor goes, that shithead there who doesn't work, he threw a lump of metal at the police, smashed the windscreen and caused a transit to plough down a group of school children, and it's just not going to look good. So I'm like, oh man, do I have to do this? He's like, fucking have you fucking gun? So I'm like, I don't want to lose face with him, but I also don't want to kill loads of police and innocent people. We've hit a load of other cars, by the way. He's smashing, because we're trying to go down the wrong side. He's trying to turn where he's not meant to every time. He doesn't want to gently turn left. He wants to sort of catch them off guard, but it's not happening. So I wind down the window, I lift this thing, and I think, I know, rather than throw it and take their window out, which in fairness probably would have, well, you'll see, but I'm thinking that might help us, but I don't want to do it. I'm thinking I'll just drop it out the window. He won't know that I haven't thrown it, and I won't get done for it. So I open the window. I'm trying to sort of hide my face from the gathers, and I hold it out the window, and I sort of just drop it. But we're going at about 80 miles an hour, and it happens in slow motion. I watch this thing as I turn, as we've pulled him away from it. It goes to the floor. As soon as the floor, it goes, king, flies up in the air. Of course, takes the window clean out of the transit. Looks like a spider web on the windscreen of the transit. I'm like, ah, shit. Jamie's like, ah, fucking wicked. We managed to go round into this estate, car's still moving. He's opening his door. He jumps out while it's still moving, only going about 15 miles an hour. But 15 miles an hour is a lot. I'm a bit of a chicken. Can you put the handbrake on, sir? But the door opens. A bit of me wanted to take that sieve and thing home. I thought it'd be nice to have an industrial sort of, but I was a little bit gutted. But as the door opens, I run out, we sprint up. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a teenager. Jamie is. Jamie's 16, this is every day of his life. Car chases, running from the old Bill. He's done about 6 stretches inside and went to a borstal, not me. I'm about 34 years old when he's running along. We hop over this fence, cross over these train tracks, and still to this day, I don't know whether you're meant to touch them and is it a live rail. So I'm all like gently, oh, careful, steady on, Jamie. And he's like, just fucking flying. Jump up this other fence, we can hear all pulling up, the helicopter's static now in the air. They've all obviously at the car, which went into someone's garden, smashed into their porch. We're over there, jumped over this other fence, climbed through bracken, and and then finally came up in Lewisham train station, where I quickly took my jumper off, turned my t-shirt inside out, and tried to put it around my neck and tried to look a little bit different. My heart was going like the clappers. It hadn't gone that fast for a long time. Terrified. I'm still thinking, hang on, you are going to get so in trouble if they catch you. And how am I going to explain that? I'm living at my mother's at the time, and she'll go, what happened? I go, well, terrified. Jamie, nothing. Absolutely, it was as if all that had happened was he dropped a Rizzler, and he's gone to me. He went, how are we going to get to Brixton now? as if it was just a minor inconvenience. So how are we going to get up now? Maybe we get a bus, or should I nick another car? And I'm like, listen, it's over. Today's finished. I'm not going. And he's like, oh, come on, we were going to get some white. Just, no. So there, we got away with it. Anyone from the authorities or police who might be watching this, obviously I made the whole thing up. There will not be records of a police chase from Lewisham to Greenwich in 2004, maybe? What a horrible day. So, going back, if you need tears, think of that story, think of my life, and generate some. I need my beard trimmed. Look, let me see what... I had my hair cut before I came. I've got stories of this. A couple of years ago, me and Charlotte, we went to Thailand, and my hair was a little bit long. There's not a lot of it. Can you see that? Look at it. What is it? That's on my head. See how funny that is? Go on, have a laugh. Look at that weird bit there. No, that's funny, right? Yeah, it's on my head. It looks like one of the My Little Tony. My Little Tony. If you don't know him, he lives in a jar by the door. It looks like one of the My Little Pony tails, doesn't it? Looks like I went in for a hair transplant and they'd run out of hair and they just quickly got his daughter's My Little Pony and stuck it upon my bonce. This is my life. But it was all long and stupid, and I had a stupid beard, and I was in Thailand. I said, I'm gonna get my hair cut. And so I'd gone into this one of those shops that does everything, and I said, can you shave my hair? And she's like, yeah. And I could tell when she got the clippers that she didn't really know how to use them. She was sort of, and I was thinking, that don't look good, does it? That is gonna shave my head. She put a guard on it, and she put it here, and she went, and took me down to bald. Yeah, she took the skin off, basically. This thing, really, she just hacked off right down to my brain. Bits of it were dripping out. You know the little men that press the buttons inside your head? You remember the numbskulls? They sit on your tongue and they shovel the food down your throat, and they've got a little steering wheel in that bit that they sort of guide you along with. Well, they were falling out. It was like, for them, it was a catastrophe. I mean, there's a lot of them, and of course they breed here. There's a little bedroom there where they sort of do the sex and that, and there's a little hospital there and a little clinic there. But they were falling out, and I was like, and I had to sort of put a band-aid on it and sort of and put loads of little dots on it to make it look like it was just shaved. But essentially she fucked it. Now if you don't know how to use it and you don't know how small the grade is, try it there. I've walked around the whole holiday with this stupid line up there. Thanks. Every single holiday photo I had to either be that side or look like I'd had some kind of leukemia. So this time in England I thought I'll get my beard shaved and my hair cut before I come. So I went into the shop I always go in. I said, you know the score, shave it here gently there, my little Tony's penis there, and trim a beard. And look what she done. Look, she said to me, in fairness, she went, do you want a line? Do you want a line? Hello John, want a line? She said, want a line? And I went, yeah, rather than graded. But look, she put the line there. It doesn't look so bad now because it's grown a bit back, but it was there. It looked like I'd already had a moustache and it had fallen down, and this one had grown in its place, a bit like shark's teeth, like as if every time you take this one off this falls down. Fucking gutted. Who wants that in all the holiday photos? I don't know. Anyway, look, I promised myself I was going to take you for a walk. I know it's not really a video cast because I've cast myself deliberately in silhouette, and only when I hide the light do you get to see my glorious body. But I am going to show you up the road a bit and show you where I'm staying. I haven't got a lot to talk about really. Didn't sound like it did. I rambled on there for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to take you out and I'm going to take you up the road. Now usually there's loads of interesting things happening around you. There is always a chance that someone's going to steal this. If they do, you're not going to see it. So if you're watching this, if they did steal it, it came back. There might be a Cambodian man on the end of this video going, ha ha ha, we stole it from him, ha ha. But it's going to be a bit jerky. It's going to be a bit beef jerky. I'm going to eat a bit of beef jerky, but I'm going to try and show you a bit of the area, because the road out of here, it's like just an old mud track. It's kind of interesting. So I'm going to try not to be too jerky. Okay, here we go. Out of the door. There you go. This is the hotel. Yeah, see that? Did you see it? There's a ball. Okay. 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 Yeah? Hello, Mario. That's Mario. What's my name, Mario? Mr. Chris. Here we go. This is just like a National Geographic now. Can you see all that? There's all that. There we go. Go round. There's the hotel tuk-tuk driver. Hello, mate. There you go. Full of the joys of spring. Right. I'm going to put you on my front now. There you go. Go down here. Go down here. There's all the neighbours. Hello. Hello. Look, they're lovely people. They run this shop. Hello. Look, lovely people. Yes. What have you got here? What is this? Mansong. Mansong. There's. Okay. Hello. Say hello. There you go. And what's this? Mansong.
ទឹកត្រី
ទឹកត្រី with bansrong. ទឹកត្រី
ត្រសក់
Trosok. This.
ពគា
Pogia.
ក្រៀម
Grim.
អូខេ
There you go. Amazing. Thank you very much. Aren't they lovely people, the Cambodians? They sit there and they do that all day. Amazing, really. As you can see, it's like there's a look. Let's see if we can approach the cockerel. Look, there's loads of them. Look, they hang out there. Look, funny fuckers, aren't they? Look, their little Cambodian family there are laughing at me. Look. Okay. I'm just gonna take you to see the mangrove swamp because it's really quite something. I don't know if it's actually a swamp. I know this is a bit beef jerky. Hello. Do you need a mangrove? Do you need the mangrove? Ready? I like this. There's a temple. I don't know if it's a temple. Okay. Here we go, look. And there's a dog coming. Okay, listen, you've been super. I don't know how you've been actually. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my holiday. I'm going to go to the beach today. It's a little bit overcast now, it's early in the morning, but they've forecast 33 degrees. You've been great. I'm going to see you later. Much later.